なんとかなったみてえだな。畳みかける。これがスーパーサイヤ人3だ。
All right, what is going on, gentlemen? We just had what is probably the most interesting reveals ever. You know me, you know my biases. I love the Buu Saga. I waited so many years for this character, and finally, the first ever Ultra Tag Switch character is representing our favorite moment, the end of the Buu Saga Spirit Bomb. Now, I asked you guys over on Twitter what your thoughts are with the reveal, and of course, I'm joined by Goresh. We like to do these little community reaction posts. I get the sneaking suspicion that the people that are responding to my posts are going to be quite supportive of this idea. They like Buu Saga. They share that Buu Saga love like I do. I get the feeling your part might be a little bit different, so I highly recommend you guys check out part 2. Will be linked down below. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start. With number 1 being Jordan, sending a Flowey post. Jordan's going to be sending me a lot of Deltarune-based memes just because he and I talked about this. He was in the streams for it. Now we anxiously wait for Chapter 6 and the one after. You should play Deltarune on that note. I think he'd really like it.
I'll add it to the endless.
The list. Yeah, the list. The list. We both have a giant gaming list to do. Okay. Silas, it was peak 9 out of 10. I don't understand why people thought we would get 2 or more Ultras. We are aware of the devs' time constraints, and they basically dropped 3 units and 1 for Broly. Yes, it's unpredictable, but I feel like we took our expectations to Disneyland. And as far as leaks, it also didn't kill the hype for me. We've been knowing it was a Spirit Bomb. It was so obvious from the leaks, and we've known it was 1 Ultra. Expecting 2 is just fantasy, to be honest. Okay, there's a lot to unravel here. Number 1, the reason why people are confused by the release abundance is because you typically don't want to go backwards in the number of character releases you do. We had 6 in total last year. Here we're having only 5. And although no one was expecting, it didn't have to be 2 Ultras. If they really wanted it to be special for the 7th anniversary, that's fine. I'm of the belief that that is just a lie and it was really a cop-out for dev time. I'm pretty sure they phrased it as 2 simultaneous Ultra releases. I could see them doing an Ultra Part 1 and an Ultra in Part 3 to circumvent that. But the reason why people are upset is because we're behind a character release. And although Broly is a really polished character, has fantastic animations and art, I still think if it came down to it, people would have preferred 6 characters total, even if it came at the cost of some of Broly's polish. I think that's where people are upset. They didn't. Even if you want to take away from the character releases, it really is just the Ultra. There's no 1%. There's not even a supporter. It really is just the Ultra. So that kind of stinks for people. For the leaks, nothing really leaked. It'd be the Buu Saga Spirit Bomb. That event had Namek Saga Goku with Android 13 movie Goku in the art, in-game voice lines from the Buu Saga. So they deliberately try to confuse players. What pissed me off is they messed up their own subtitles for the reveal. This isn't even amateur now. It's just, how do you screw this up? This isn't MUI. And what's worse is they can choose when the subtitles show up. They have full creative reign over what goes on with that video. So if they went into their own YouTube studio page, went to their own video, and they click subtitles, they would have seen what YouTube auto-generated and what timestamps it was going to put it up for. So they could have mitigated this. So it's not even amateur at this point. It's just downright disrespectful for the people that are anxiously looking forward to this. Because for me, 3 minutes in, they spoiled it and I had to act oblivious for 55 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. It's just not a good look. You're a multi-billion-dollar company. This game has been around for several years, up to 8 years now. How do you mess this up?
Yeah, I've seen people saying it's YouTube's fault. I will just tell you that's not how it works.
Yeah.
When you add subtitle timestamps to the video, you have to manually add them. So what I think happened is whoever was adding the subtitles didn't take into consideration the 1 hour history video that came before the reveal. So they probably initially had it split up as 2 videos, and then they just combined both of them in some kind of editing software and then just uploaded it that way.
Yeah.
But the person that added the subtitles just added the subtitles as though the history video wasn't there. So I think what probably happened is initially they didn't even plan on doing the history video first, and then they added it later, and they just didn't change the subtitle timestamps. So if you actually go back and like look at how long it takes for the subtitles to pop up, the subtitles pop up right as Tani starts speaking to line up with what he's saying.
Yeah.
After the actual like trailer drops for the new character.
Yeah.
So it's almost as if they just didn't factor in the history video. So that was the problem.
Yeah, but I mean, eventually it gets to a point where it's like, where are we going to point the finger here? Are we going to point it at every other platform, or are we going to point it at the studio that...
Oh, it's 100% their fault.
Yeah, messed up their own URL to give us a 4th ANNI MUI. They leaked their own in-game asset to show us Ultra UI. They ended up showing us their own early teaser for the 7th anniversary, and now they can't even get the subtitles. Yeah. Like, the in-game news for the first purple UI, like, eventually it's just... Legends, what are you doing, brother? Just get it together, man. Great way to end the anniversary strong. Super Saiyan 3 was long overdue for his Ultra, but I think they chose to pair him with Vegeta to give it a bit more flair. They look really good animation and kit-wise. Dude, the amount of work that went into this character, it's beautiful. We're talking like 7 or 8 character models, because this includes Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2 Goku, base form Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, base form Vegeta, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, Hercule, and then all those character models have battle damage variants as well. So outside of the updated models, all the animations, everything that they're doing, Hercule running on the ground, destructible environment, the spirit bomb itself, the person receiving the hit, they put a lot into this one character. So anybody that's saying this character doesn't look good, I think they just aren't paying attention to the little details, because they all add up. This character looks really good. Kit-wise, yes, I think this character is unbelievably powerful as well. There's only 2 little grievances, or maybe 3 grievances I have with them, but part of them will get answered when we actually get a chance to play with them. But yeah, I think this character is great. I don't know what you think.
How do you feel about the like special finish animation? When I was hearing them describe it, I'm just thinking to myself, why not just add a little pop-up that just says Ultra Finish or something?
Yeah, to me,
why not just make that the character?
It sounded like a pseudo Ultra LF to me as well, but I think they didn't want to give it an official stamp just because I don't know if that opens another can of worms, or they just didn't want to entertain that idea. They weren't ready for it, but it definitely sounded like an Ultra LF.
It literally is an LF without the little stamp that pops up that like labels it as an LF, right?
Yeah, unique character KO based off of a specific attack is literally a legendary finish.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's their choice. I just like that they brought that back, and I really love the Ultra intro when it's both a yellow and blue orb circling one another that goes to their eyes. That's amazing. I think that's one of my favorite Ultra intros ever. No bias at all. I think that was really cool. I thought that was sick. That was really, really good. I guess the only criticism would kind of be the art. I think it's maybe a tiny bit kind of off, you know? Maybe it would have been better if they were both on center, because it's, you know, Vegeta, Goku, but then it'd be
my issue with the art is actually when you look at the card art, there's like a background of both the units in the back, but it's the same exact art in the back. Like it's the same, like this Super Saiyan 3 Goku, it's the same thing in the back. Like, why is it not just different?
I don't know. But this is honestly nitpicking. This is just nitpicking the smallest of things. I would just prefer if they were centered, but then you get the Boo Duo. They're probably like, just offset Vegeta 30 degrees. It's serious. I'm biased because I managed to not get spoiled. Thank you, mods. But this was freaking amazing. I think I help people avoid spoilers because I tweeted out, did they leak it in the subtitles? And I think even Nano said, oh, I read that and I turned them off. Also, I love that we talked about this character being the Part 3 Ultra in our summons, and it actually happened. Though I did not expect a tag character, so it's even cooler. yeah, we did a summon collab and we talked about what we thought the Part 3 character could be, and my obvious bias is to throw out Blue Saga characters. Kind of like, was it Truth who kept saying it's Broly for everything back when we did the 5-9 character?
Yeah, Z Broly.
Yeah, character prediction. So I was throwing out the Boo duo at any chance I could get. But yeah, it finally happened. It's beautiful. I think the character is great. I'm really happy for him. Hashi says, I will be completely honest. Animations and it being a tag ultra is freaking amazing. Nullifying Revival and KO Guard and all is what we needed, but it being only one character is a bummer. I'd rather Ultra MUI Goku, to be honest, and an LR Jiren. This could have been Legends Fest for real. No new sparking at all. Like, I'd have to give this a 6 out of 10 in my honest opinion. Sure, the unit is a 10 out of 10, but all surrounding around it ain't it all, bro? Ain't it at all, bro? TOP would have been significantly better. I'm happy for you, Rai. Firstly, thank you. Secondly, I do agree on the disappointment that comes from the amount of characters released. But to be honest, there was no guarantee if it was Ultra MUI that it meant an LR Jiren. I don't know. Like, the same constraints that existed for the Boo duo probably would have existed for MUI too, right? There was no guarantee. So it could.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care who the Ultra was. My first and foremost desire was for it to be 2 characters.
Mm-hmm.
I do think at this point we are kind of we've evolved past 1 character parts of major celebrations. 7th anniversary, 2 characters per part. Legends Fest was only 1 Ultra in Part 3, and I did feel like that was a bit of a mixed reaction. Like Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I felt like, yes, maybe some of his animations weren't the greatest, but that's a character that we've been waiting for a very, very long time, Ultra GT Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and I did feel like the reaction was kind of mixed, because we are just coming off of the heels of a double Ultra 7th anniversary, and it just, it didn't feel the same. And it even, I think it's more amplified in this anniversary, because not only are we comparing it to the 7th anniversary, we're comparing these parts to the own anniversary celebration itself. Like, we're comparing Part 3 to Part 1. And, I do, when I look at the Boo duo, I do feel like they did enough for them to stand on their own as an individual release. Because, I mean, they're essentially what they are is they're a tag LF Ultra, yep. Right? And I think that is enough for them to stand on their own legs and be fine individually. But it is very hard for me to look at this and say that it is equal to Part 1. It's tough.
Yeah, I don't.
Even with how good this character looks and everything.
I'm gonna be honest. Even with my own bias, I could say that Part 1 is probably still better. I'm just gonna keep it objective here. Broly, with all the animations and all the work that went into him and an Ultra paired alongside him, Part 1 is definitely the strongest part. This is me just being objective too with my biases. Like you said, individually they stand out, worthy of an anniversary, really well polished, lots of work went into them. But yeah, it's probably disappointed people that there's not another character with them. Not even a supporter too.
The other thing to mention too is there's no LF unique equip. Like, they give us a unique equip for Supreme Kai, who I'm actually like not looking forward to at all, because I hate that character. But there's, like, remember last year we got 2 Ultras and we got a unique equip for LF Full Power Frieza all on the same day.
Yeah.
And then for Legends Fest, we had a LF Zenkai for Super Baby 2 drop the same day as the character. This one, I mean, yeah, we're getting a Zenkai for the Hercule Boo, which I don't think many people are super excited about, and then a unique equip for Supreme Kai. But I don't know, it just feels like outside of the Boo duo themselves, like maybe they could have done a little bit more. I don't know.
You know what's funny is this does answer why that 1% Vegeta Zenkai buffs Blue Vegeta Clan, and why Goku and Bardock are now for Blue Saiyans. It was all for this guy, maybe.
Yeah.
We found
setting it up.
Yeah, we found our answer. They wanted to give Blue Saiyans, the most stacked Zenkai buffer so far, more stacks. Oh well, it is what it is. They could have done better. I'm happy with the individual character, but I do agree. They didn't even give a unique for, like, I don't know. The fusing Super Vegito, like, would this not be an appropriate time? Goodness, we have multiple revival characters. I think he would have been able to perform quite well, knowing that.
Dude, you don't know how nervous I got. I think it was, they showed like the super week or whatever, where like all the different events were powered up for the 1 week.
Yeah.
For the end of the anniversary. They showed the Monday event that gives you the Z power, and one of the characters they showed was Purple Ultimate Gohan, and I was literally about to shut my video off and like just throw a tantrum if he was about to get a Zenkai or something. Like, I was so nervous seeing that there.
That would have been awful.
But thankfully he's only an S tier. He's not getting a Zenkai or anything.
Yeah, that definitely would have been awful. Yeah. Either way, we agree with most of what you say. Definitely a shame the subtitles caused things to be spoiled, but holy crap. They delivered hard on the animations. This easily is the best part 3 I've ever seen. This unit just looks so goddamn good. I'm through the roof with hype. I'm with you on the hype, brother. I'm with you. The subtitles thing definitely stunk. I thought it was amazing. It's our first ever Tag Ultra. That is true. I actually thought Goku and Frieza would become the first ever Tag Ultra. I don't know why. My brain.
Well, now they're definitely on the table now, right?
Yeah, it's just because they follow this trend, right? It was the opening LFs of the anniversaries a few years prior became the ultras afterwards. So 4th anniversary, MUI. What? No, hold on. There was a consistent trend that they ended up breaking with the 7th ANNI, or was it the 8th ANNI or something? Where it was like a previous headliner from a few years past became an ultra, and then it was up to Goku and Frieza next. It was their time to fulfill.
It was part 1. So 1st anniversary Super Vegito, 4th anniversary Ultra Super Vegito,
yeah,
2nd anniversary Vegito Blue, 5th anniversary Vegito Blue. Yeah, that was it.
The trend broke with Goku and Frieza, and I was like, did they just not want to do Tag Ultras? Maybe, I don't know. Oh well. But if people got spoiled by the closed captions, it's their fault, and staying on Twitter during the reveal. I hope these guys absolutely destroy Radhan and Trunks and Gohan. I'm not going to blame people for the captions, to be honest. I like to keep that up in case the audio levels may not be 100%, so people fill in any information that may miss with the captions. You know, sometimes they'll say something that you didn't catch, and then the subtitles can help you understand what the whole picture was. That's why I kept it on. I can't.
But guess what? We're not keeping them on anymore.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm turning them off forever. If anything, I'll keep them German from here on out because I don't want to get spoiled by anything. But who would have thought that they would have spoiled it in subtitles? You know what I mean? Like it's just so mind-boggling that this is a way for them to mess up. Now we know better, but I'm still just taken back that it happened. Staying on Twitter, though, yeah, that's definitely their fault. I mean,
They're finding new ways to spoil things every time. There's going to be some other new way in the 9th anniversary next year.
Yeah, maybe the audio is going to desync and you're going to start hearing voice lines from the new character when they're doing the unveiling. It's going to happen. In terms of destroying Radhan, Trunks, and Gohan, it's going to depend on how long it takes to earn the first stage of prep mode and then the second stage to complete the prep mode. One thing I get worried about with any of these Spirit Bomb, these prep mode characters, is how long it takes to get there. That's usually their biggest weakness. It's just, you know, half the character is the prep, and then, you know, if you can't really get to that point, or it takes too long, or the meta moves too fast, or characters just deal too much damage, you almost miss out on it. Not to mention, this character, although they have a revival, you're looking to the Spirit Bomb to deal with the revivals, man. You want to deal with that. So it's nice that they thought of ways to make sure the character is still good in case you can't get the prep mode off. But I still am curious how long it'll take. I don't think it's going to be so simple to get it off, because this thing kills Indestructible, KO Guard, Revivals, Endurances. I don't know how it plays off with like comeback mechanics in succession. That may have just been put under the etc., but
it should just nullify everything, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it destroys Indestructible. And the first thing I thought of was, holy crap, they really wanted to kill Bardock. Bardock is dead.
I think Bardock is going to work with this character pretty well. Just remember that Bardock supports Goku.
Yeah,
this character is.
He'll work with him, but this is his own worst enemy, because now you can't bank on it.
You know who else this character is going to kill?
Who?
Themselves. The Vegeta side. They're gonna you can nuke the opponent's Vegeta who has a revive.
Yeah, so it's all going to be a race to the finish. Oh, actually, another thing I figured since we're on this topic, the assault type unique gauge. I don't know how you feel about that. I understand what their objective was because they wanted to really spearhead you getting to filling all the tag switches so you can get to your prep mode. Something kind of rectify what the issue was with the boot duo. But I find it is it wrong to say a little bit half-baked that there's no way to deplete it outside of finishing the prep mode? I don't know.
So it fills up at the same speed as green Vegito Blue, which is pretty slow.
Oh, that was the wording. Okay.
I'm a little iffy on that because this character doesn't have any card protection. That's the best mechanic in the game pretty much right now is card protection. So that's one of the areas I'm a little nervous about is if they can't combo enough consistently to get to, because essentially what you want to do with this character is with the first priority, you want to be able to get to their first stage of the prep mode, which means you have to fill up their assault gauge in one priority, which I don't think you're going to do that. I don't think that's likely.
It really depends.
So if you need 2 priorities to get to their prep mode, and then you have to wait for it to fill up, and then you have to launch it. Because remember, you have to wait for it to fill up, and then you use the active skill, and then it starts depleting. So there's a lot of steps to this. With how offensively dominant Gohan and Trunks are, the meta is just not that slow anymore. Gohan and Trunks are just disintegrating every unit in the game. So are you really going to be able to afford to wait that entire time to get the prep mode off? I do want to see how long it takes to do it in game first before I want to say anything, but that's just a hole in the character that I can see getting exploited by Gohan and Trunks' damage.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about as well. Just taking too long to get the prep mode off. I didn't realize that the filling speed was the same as the green Vegito Blue. That's
and then the only charge rate you get is when Vegeta dies or you use the Spirit Bomb. So you can't like actively get it to charge faster before the Spirit Bomb gets launched.
Yeah, I guess in their minds they just thought. See, I was worried it was going to be another one of those things where it's like they understand how powerful it is, so they held back on other aspects to make you really work for it. That's what I was worried about.
If they really wanted this character to go like just super free, like almost no worries, they would have given him card protection, but they held back.
Yeah. Did you also notice? This is the first time I've seen them ever restrict the on-enemy confrontation. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
First time.
It literally is just a worse mechanic than Gogeta Blue from Part 1 has. When you compare them side by side, Gogeta Blues is literally just better in every way.
Yeah, I don't know why they felt the need to do that, but whatever. Yeah, that was me reading the Yeah, see they play it here.
Yeah, dude, my reaction to seeing the subtitles pop up, I don't know, you probably haven't had a chance to watch my reaction yet. Do you know the meme? It's a Saturday Night Live skit of Keenan on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and he's like trying to read like these like Icelandic names, and his eyes are just like bulging out of his eye sockets. That was me.
No, I did. I saw you laugh. Yeah, that's what I saw. I saw you. What's funny is you can see the moment it clicked in your mind because your eyes dart down a bit. You're scanning through, and then your eyes just go all the way, and then you laugh. You're like, "We just got spoiled. We just got spoiled." Yeah, it was so dumb. Like, what's crazy is I had 55,000 people in that stream, and we had to pretend like nothing happened for 50 minutes. It was crazy. I'm kidding, it wasn't 55,000 people. I like to just mess around with the numbers to throw people off. Because I get comments that are like, there was actually 55,000 people.
Yeah, there was. I was there.
Yeah. See, guys? We're Twitch acting. Disappointed. Not with the character pick specifically, but with the reveal in general. Lackluster off-week buffs. It got completely leaked. Only one new character. This doesn't feel like a part 3 to the 8th anniversary personally. Yeah, I mean...
The off-week stuff I get, but you have to remember that this is just 2 weeks of content. This is not like part 1 of the anniversary that's giving us 4 weeks worth of stuff where they can just jam in a lot of equips and Zenkais. But I kind of agree with the picks, like Hercule and Boo, Red Supreme Kai, could have been better picks for that, but remember, it's only 2 weeks of content. No free character, which is kind of interesting, though.
Yeah, there's no way. Was LR Broly that much work?
I
don't
guess.
know. Yeah, I guess he really took up that much time. Yeah. Who would you want? What theme would you want for an after party if you had to choose? You're gonna say
Same
Daima,
theme
right?
I've mentioned. Same theme I've mentioned for the past 18 months until we get the characters into the game. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Daima, GT. It'd be funny if they went with Boo Saga just to tail it off. Because, I'm thinking to my heads, like, what team are they expecting you to run with this character? What do they want? Right?
Well, I mean, they gave him a Saiyan Ultra ability for a reason. You can just throw him on any Saiyan team. It's like Namek Goku.
Yeah, but I just wonder what they're... We'll have to eagerly wait for that weird team recommendation that they tweet out. I'm looking forward to seeing what they cook up for this. It's probably like Broly, them, and like Shin in the leader slot. Just something crazy.
I think it's going to be Ultra Kid Buu is going to work so well with this character because Yellow Blue you need to have for future Gohan and Trunks. And then the third character, I guess, could just be, I don't know, Super Vegito, just triple Buu Saga team.
Maybe. I mean, with Kid Buu having the type neutral off of the his plat equip as well, it will be helpful against those guys in their blue cards. So maybe you're right.
He's an A tier. You saw that, right?
Wait, what? I missed that part.
Yeah. He's gonna be an A tier. He's gonna be insane.
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought, damn. I was too busy watching the Z tier for the other Super Saiyan 3. Damn. Yeah.
And then Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is an S tier, which is kind of crazy too.
Definitely has some weird choices. Rahan, this isn't the fault of the reveals, but I couldn't stream it. This literally soured my mood for the remainder of the reveal. And if it was MUI, I think my reaction would have been far worse. Not the unit's fault, just unfortunate circumstances on my end. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting you bring up the MUI thing because, like, at the end of the day, all the characters people are anxiously waiting for are hype characters, and they're gonna come out. I would not be shocked if MUI was just Fest now. I wouldn't be so surprised. So I don't feel like people should be too up in arms because it's gonna happen eventually. He's just one of those ticket characters that they throw up there. I don't know. There's a lot of L's spammed in the chat for the official reveal when they unveiled the character, and I'm like, MUI is gonna happen eventually, man. It's not one of those things where it's like, is it gonna happen? Is it not? Like Daima, MUI is definitely gonna happen. Hate how UGB got the Ultra Super Vegito treatment.
Come on.
I wouldn't.
Come on, Chuckster.
Yeah.
Come on, Chuckster.
I don't know about that, champ. I wouldn't say that.
I mean, so the Goku and Vegeta have the highest damage guard in the game, 330%.
Yeah.
Yes, they're blue. Gogeta Stardust Fall is extremely scary for this character. They can get caught, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I want to see I want to see what they look like in game because they have the highest damage guard, so maybe they could just straight up live a Stardust Fall, but they gotta be you gotta be careful about the Stardust Fall. You can get one shot by that with no second life mechanic.
Yeah, I think characters do a little too much nowadays to simply say, oh, they released a new character that has type advantage over this old character. He's washed now. There's just too many tools to keep them safe. Pretty much everybody.
The thing that Gogeta needs to be aware of is Goku and Vegeta with their blue card remove type neutral. So Gogeta will just get crushed by their blue. That's what you have to be aware of. But then you just go to Broly, right?
Yeah. I mean, that movie setup is still what everybody loves running anyways. Pan, Broly, Vegeta. Or people throw him on the God Key setup with the double Goku Black. I think he's fine.
Yeah, that's another good one. Yep.
I think he's fine. I absolutely love this. I appreciate any Super Saiyan 3 units, and this takes the cake. This gives me hope for a Fusion Reborn Super Saiyan 3 unit that charges up a Twin Dragon Fist. Maybe. I hope they run better than the Buu Duo at least. All right, but let's not be greedy now. We'll wait for when this one ends up dropping. But I think they're definitely looking a lot better than the Buu Duo. I'll tell you that. The Buu Duo were done dirty, I dare say. So I think they're fine. They'll run a lot better. Genuinely so sad it got leaked, as this could have been a top 3 part 3 and it wouldn't have been 3, but still very good in my opinion. This is still the best ANNI though. Ain't nobody taking the title. Maybe the only competition is 6th anniversary, but apart from that, these two are the best ANNI, I assume. How would you grade it actually? How would you compare this to 6th?
I do want to see what this raid event is actually. The like finale raid thing. That sounds interesting to me. It sounds like it's the New Year's gift raid, basically, right?
Yeah, nonstop.
which is like the best event in the game. So if they're bringing that back for the anniversary, like when you consider all the resources they give, all the buffs we've gotten, it's hard to compete with this anniversary. It really is.
Yeah. Hold on, let's see. I want to try and find some other opinions. I think for me, I'm very glad the Boo Duo is the first tag Ultra. I just really wanted Daima Mini Forku during the anniversary. Maybe it'll be part of the after party, but the best thing of the reveal is the Boo Duo. The rest is like a 5 out of 10, honestly. Yeah, I guess
there wasn't really much outside of the character, right?
That's
what I was trying. That's what I was trying to say. Like, there's not much substance outside of the character, unless you care about the World Championship, I guess, which is cool. But yeah,
I was saying, like, I feel like Angel Vegeta was right there, but they probably just wanted to gather as many people as part of that fight as they could. You know, Hercule Boo, yeah, Goku and Vegeta, the Ultra, Shin, just give him a unique equip. I don't know. Maybe that's just what they wanted to go for. I want to go quick. See some other opinions. Proportions look a bit odd. Goku is huge in comparison to Vegeta. Yeah.
Look at the art in the back. Why is it just the same art? Is that not insane?
Yeah, it is kind of odd, huh?
Like, I'm thinking of Ultra Super Vegito.
Oh,
like how it's like. Yeah, that's what I was envisioning. Like, if they're gonna put the faces in the back, at least have them be different.
This really could have been. Yeah, I don't know. Like you said, Ultra Super Vegito. They should have taken inspiration from that versus having big zoom-ins of their faces. But we'll have to see in game what goes on. UGB got countered. I don't think so. Gogeta feels way underwhelming compared to Gohan. Wait, GV?
Goku and Vegeta.
Goku and Vegeta, like the work they put into them, kit, ink art, that useless unique gauge, windscreen, they have KO prevention, revive, while GB didn't even have endurance nullification. Dude, I see people bring this up so much. You know how insane you gotta be to demand endurance null on Stardust Fall? Are you guys high?
That's like asking for Gohan and Trunks to have endurance.
That's you guys are high asking for that. That's nuts. It does 100% damage to everyone on the bench. Even if you don't do the drop combo with the damn thing, that's at least 1.5 million on the entire bench. That's nuts. That's crazy. Yeah. The KO prevention, fine, but who knows how much work it takes to get to that point. I don't know. People may come out of this and be like, you know, it takes so much work to get to that point that they don't feel as great. Versus, you know, Gohan and Trunks are just going to be kicking, you know, they're just going crazy immediately.
Well, by the time you get to here's the argument, right? By the time you get to the point where you can launch the Spirit Bomb, maybe you've already used up all your opponent's like revives and endurances anyway.
That's true too, yeah. Who knows what you're left with? Yeah, okay. I'm trying to see if anyone has like a, this is totally crap. It should have been MUI. This game's stupid, right? You're stupid.
I'm sure people do have that opinion.
Yeah.
You gotta understand. I'm not trying to disparage anyone, but like, you know, most people who play this game are quite young, right?
That is also fair. They started with Super. Yeah, but one character
started with Daima, dude.
Started with Daima?
I bet you there are players who started with Daima. Yeah.
I didn't even consider that. Damn, started with Daima.
Super is old at this point. Think about it.
Started with Daima, damn. Oh, that's a good point, huh? Oh, they're going to be very disappointed, it seems. One character in the Big 26 sucks, indeed. Lame Zenkai, lame Plat. The only hype thing is for the one unit. What? Lame Plat, the only hype thing is one unit that's not a memorable Part 3 unless you absolutely love Super Saiyan 3 or the Buu Saga. Part 1 easily clears. What? End of the Buu Saga, not a memorable character? No way. No way. End of Z Spirit Bomb not memorable? Are we really saying that? I don't believe that. I don't agree. I feel like even if you're not a fan of it, you'd be like, yeah, that's like top 5 moments in all of Dragon Ball Z. The Spirit Bomb to end the fight.
I mean, I think like the objective top 3 list is first Super Saiyan transformation, Father Son Kamehameha, Boo Saga Spirit Bomb, right?
Yeah, like, I mean, everybody goes and talks about the speech, the "You Are Number One" speech. They're all part of that fight. That's crazy. Not
Kind of surprised they didn't implement that somehow, right? Isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah, I the second we got Belmont, I'm like, oh, a yapping supporter. You already know where I'm going with this. It's going to be Vegeta's speech, but he's not here. Spoilers. Very happy for you, bro. Love the pig for the potential idea of an MUI, but my god, I'm so annoyed that they didn't give Angel Vegeta a Zenkai. Yes, same idea. Shin getting a plat is interesting, and I hope it's done right, but this unit is going to be so fun to use and
No, I
scary
hope
to
he
face.
sucks. I hope he sucks. I hope he sucks. I hope he sucks.
Can you imagine if he actually ends up being, like, friggin' top 10 worthy? Like, this guy's just so good.
He has guaranteed paralysis.
Like, I don't know, man. It would be crazy to see him become like a top 10 character. It would be absolutely insane. Leak killed all the hype. One of the most iconic moments in Dragon Ball. The reveal was obvious with the Zenkai Vegeta giving a buff to Vegeta Clan instead of movies. I'm not gonna say that, but at least now we know. Oh, here we go. I'm sorry to say, but I kind of disliked it. Don't get me wrong, I love Super Saiyan 3 and Buu Saga is my favorite, but like another unit that force draws cards, has a delete button, and removes Vanish. Like hybrids weren't annoying enough, but I don't know. We have to see how it goes in game. I mean,
the removes Vanish thing is like Ultra Broly, right? Where like his defense gauge fills up and then he removes your Vanish. That's how it works, right?
yeah. No, I know that. It's just.
I don't feel like that's ever been super great. It's not like Pan, where like Pan comes in and can actively remove your Vanish. Ultra Vegito Blue comes in and actively removes your Vanish. Red Beast transforms. Like, I think proactive Vanish removal is always just way stronger than, okay, you get hit and then you remove Vanish. Like Super Baby 2's gauge, it's good, but it's not like it's ever really been like a huge nuisance, I felt like. So I don't really know how much that matters.
I guess it's, I don't know. I think it's one of those things that really shuts down comeback potential. So maybe that's where its value comes from. I've always thought it was pretty strong, to be honest. Forcing a Vanish, forcing them to make a move, forcing, having that much more control over how they're swapping and what they're doing. I don't know. I think it was good, especially because they paired it with killing 3 cards. That's insane.
Yeah, the fact that it fills up as fast as it does, it's like great. It's 3 hits to get it filled up.
Yeah, Yellow Goku Blacks. Yeah.
The question is, can they live 3 hits from going on a drone?
Yeah. Okay, I don't want to make this go on for too long, but it seems like most of the people on my comments here liked it. I'm curious how your side feels. All right, we're gonna leave it there. It looks like most people are happy about it. The spoilers in the subtitle sucks. It could have been more characters. The Zenkai joy. What the hell? I was like, wait a minute, is that who I think it is? Dude, is this like an elementary school photo? How did they get this?
This is a 28-year-old picture, by the way.
You're lying. This looks like a grade 6 photo. No way. All right, well, either way, criticism's valid. People happy about stuff, totally valid. It's great to hear your opinions, guys. Be sure to check out part 2, linked in the description box down below. We're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. But until then, you guys, peace.